Internet, unironically, in my opinion, like fucked everybody's opinion on how they perceive their body.
That's when I have seen it clinically. I've seen it in gay men more than I've seen it in heterosexual men.
Especially nowadays, I feel like it's a lot more common to fetishize.
In the beginning, there was Josh, and then I ate him. The end.
The World Wide Web is a place where everything and everyone can be given an expectation, or perhaps the illusion of an expectation. Every single one of us, every human being, has a body, a vessel, an exterior which we express ourselves through. Whether you're taking pictures in the mirror for the gram or drawing your favorite character to post to your followers, you may be met with an interior feeling about how they're perceived. The internet, with social media, model culture, and every which way, has severely impacted self-image and body view. From growing up on it to portraying varying expressions, the internet has destroyed body image. The internet has caused a varied amount of body issues for many different people in different spaces by simply existing, and creating spaces where varied reactions and behaviors can thrive. A lot of spaces can be lived in that end up being competitive, toxic, and reluctant to grow. With social media, there's this everlasting trend that people will compare themselves to others and create this feeling of competition that was mentioned before. If they don't look like Jessica Rabbit or have their tummy tucked, it could be an issue. Each body type with each little niche community has their own intersection. Being a bigger person online and off must be no easy feat. People are vitriolic in their hate, often rooted in several entitlements to feel attracted to all bodies they see, but also a warped perception of being fat and being unhealthy. But even that innate hate is misplaced. You don't see people hating on and being sickly horrific to smokers despite the habit being unhealthy, yet people will see someone not be 100 pounds and pop their lid, all while incorrectly assuming that person must be so unhealthy. It's innately fat-phobic to perceive someone and think you know if they're healthy or not. Some of the world's strongest and healthiest bodybuilders are mistaken for fat because they eat properly for their weight and size, most being large men with a lot of muscle and activity to upkeep.
I mean, when I was younger, I made like a tablet review and I had myself in the video, like a actual me. And I remember I got like 3 comments on that video specifically about my weight, and I was like 15 to 16, I believe. I guess it's just like this, the sexualization of specifically a body type, and I've had a lot of experience with people who fetishize my weight, especially nowadays. I feel like it's a lot more common to fetishize fat people. Which is interesting because fat shaming is still so prevalent, and yet it's also at an all-time high. I feel like when it comes to fetishizing, it's so odd that they kind of go hand in hand right now.
Being skinny is perceived to often be the beauty standard, so when people of that size take to the internet with their issues or their woes, it tends to be met with a wide array of pushback that festers into unsafe and problematic body language. In the same way, it can be used as a way to shame people who aren't skinny for not simply being born with a certain metabolism or lack of familial influence on genetics and weight. Skinny culture festers in several ways, most of which are unhealthy and unsafe in nature. There's a very specific picking on which is considered attractive in the skinny realm, wishing for no pudge, tummy, or anything of the sort. It drives people in multiple ways to suppress their appetite, attempt to achieve that showcase of the ultimate bod, reminiscent of the depictions of women's bodies in the 2000s, and overall just promotes a very unhealthy mindset. In gay internet subcultures, there's a thing called, femboys. And in this culture, they're a group of people who firmly believe you must fit in the small glove of what is skinny, what is fit, and oftentimes, they've fed each other's mindsets of what is appropriate and what they're allowed to do in order to fit this so-called quota. Admittedly, this community can convince a lot of younger people in queer spheres on the internet, feminine men specifically, to fit into a bubble and view themselves very strictly when they wouldn't otherwise. Not the greatest. Along the skinny line is a very unfortunate place called edtwt, aka eating disorder. Ed spaces have existed since the dawn of the internet, and create some of the most unsafe and harmful spaces within its depths. ED spaces often glamorize and encourage those who are struggling with their body image, and give them resources and inspiration to get skinny. It's not only deadly behaviors, but competitive ones. Eating disorders are notably competitive, as it's a mental illness fueled by a lot of self-perceptive issues and societal/personal influences. So when it festered in spaces with like-minded people, it grows into an unsafe and dangerous habit of body checking, hate, and much worse behavioral patterns. People will record statistics of their lowest weight and have rankings, leaderboards, of who can get the lowest BMI. It's a pretty popular section of Twitter with tens of thousands of people, maybe more, who will fast for days and compete. And if you weigh anything other than visible ribability, you're big. There's even threads of aforementioned 2000 Magazine's culture listing this as representation and inspiration for ED culture. The internet creates niches for things that could be unhealthy for every single body type. From bigger bodies to average littler ones, there's many spaces where people can culminate an immense amount of hatred and spew words to other groups. It festers, it sinks, and it culminates together to create a not very healthy space of body image. Presented with a pretty obvious double standard, it can be disheartening seeing someone who may look like you getting tomatoes thrown at them. Comments full of, wow, I can't believe this, or even considering like nothing big.
Hey, Josh, did you eat all the leftovers? I know, I can tell.
At a certain rate, it can generate insecurities you didn't even know you have. Hitting a pose like,
"This isn't what people said was hot on Twitter."
social media can impact the way you think, eat, see yourself, and so much more. It's one of the most damning ways to catapult yourself in a full-fledged spiral. Not to say there isn't anything good, but the bad can be quite visceral. Growing up on it, you can possibly end up living vicariously through it and continuously associate your picture of being perceived with your overall identity. Oh, if I looked like this person, I'd get a few more likes. Maybe. Normal, average bodies and day-to-day can be judged so harshly whether you're a celebrity or a non-famed user. When you're constantly showcased a definition of perfection with a simple scroll, it can jade people's views on what is supposed to be the new average. It raises expectations and eyebrows in places where it isn't quite necessary. With starvation, dodging hate, plus the use of filters, editing, angles, hiding behind a monitor, it's a science that you shouldn't fully rely on. Fortunately, having body issues wasn't too much of a thing prior to 2 decades ago, because we didn't have the ability to see millions of people's opinions and perspectives in a matter of seconds. Now, we do. So now, we generate the issue of, I'm not good enough because this isn't what I see every day. Now, depending on where you lurk, there are a few instances in smaller communities where your body image can be positively affected, to a slight degree. I find it important to note because I find myself in much more positive areas of the web today, where I've been seeing great examples of body positivity. There could be a lot of body positivity depending on your sphere. Depending on where you lurk, you could see all kinds of people, which can also be a good thing. There could be all types of representation on social media, whether it be real photos or artistic expression, from whichever body type you possess versus representing your flag. No matter your size or gender identity, you could see a variety of body depictions, which is a big advancement, and people can see themselves as they scroll. People can see bodies like theirs.
I feel like it makes people feel a little bit more comfortable in their bodies. And it personally like helped me with my own comfort within my own body, and also with how I portrayed my own like character and stuff, because for the longest time I didn't portray my persona as my own like body type. I like would switch between him just being skinny or being like buff or something. And when it comes to like my body type and stuff, like, you know, especially nowadays, it feels like a lot of people are trying to kind of normalize that, you know, bigger people exist and depictions of them in artwork and media.
While small positive reinforcements are nice, it's still a pretty big cesspool of toxicity and pathways of insecurity. These positive communities are unfortunately a smaller circle within, and it requires a pretty good surrounding. The internet provides packaged ideals of what is and what isn't a good body type that lead to an onslaught of negative behavior should anyone have the want and courage to post about their body in a positive or non-positive light. The truth is that with this generation and in the past decade or two, the internet has unfortunately destroyed body image. And if not destroyed, it has dangerously impacted it to a worrying degree. Harassment, bullying, and comparison can steal your joy. While there can be an easy solution like, hey bro, just turn off the screen, it isn't always that simple. And truthfully, this level of harm and representation can seep into your brain before you even realize turning off the screen is a true solution. In my opinion, love you for you, man. Reinforce your community, be you, and really only change yourself if you feel like your health is at risk, or if you truly want to. Do it for you. Not because someone thinks a visible rib is the hottest way to look. If they only love you for your lack of meat, there's not much love to get from their behalf anyways. Thank you to my patrons as always, and I appreciate you being around.
Alright, so you guys know that flavor Dr. Pepper is strawberries and cream. The only good Dr. Pepper, because all other Dr. Peppers are ass, and if you disagree, you're wrong. Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream is unironically so fucking good, you guys don't understand. Like, it's so refreshing and it's sweet, and you can actually taste the fucking strawberry